This is all about the second of the four houses in West Buckland School, called the Courtney. The first Courtney house was not a house. It was a bedroom, well, a dormitory, if you insist. When the permanent school buildings were set up in 1861, there were to be two dormitories. They were to be called Brereton and Courtenay. Brereton, obviously, because the whole idea of the school sprang from the fertile imagination of the Reverend Joseph Lloyd Brereton. It was Brereton who gave the school its aim, to provide education for the middle classes. But why Courtenay? Because Brereton knew that aims and ideas were not enough. The world would not listen to him unless he had people on his side who were important. He wanted a big name. How about the Earl of Devon, whose name was Courtney? In the Devon of 1858, names didn't come any bigger than Courtney. Though looking at the history, one wonders how. The family mortality rate was truly astounding. Luckily, there were an awful lot of them. There needed to be. They showed genius for getting into trouble. Just listen to this. And this is a shortened version. Apparently, the Courtney family was documented in Normandy before the conquest, before 1066. That is nearly 1,000 years. They were, it seems, into everything. The Norman conquest, obviously. Like all respectable medieval noble families, they sent members to the Crusades. 3 of them became counts of Edessa, roughly Syria today. 1 died as a result of a mine collapsing on him. Another was captured, blinded, and died in prison. Another Courtney continued the tradition of sticky ends by getting himself killed at the siege of Jerusalem in 1187. A piece of the city wall fell on him. There was a much-married lady called Agnes Courtney, who notched up 4 husbands and various other relationships. And then, in the 13th century, luck turned a bit. 3 Courtneys became, one after the other, wait for it, Emperor of Constantinople. The last one was expelled, admittedly, but Emperor of Constantinople. Look it up. Another branch of the family, the one which came over with William the Conqueror, made its mark on the map of Devon. Look carefully, and you'll find Sutton Courtenay, Wootton Courtenay, and Sampford Courtenay. Then I have to skip a bit till another Courtenay was created Earl of Devon in 1335. It was after that that the Courtenays began to get into real trouble. No fewer than 3 of them managed to get themselves executed or killed in battle during the Wars of the Roses. They made such a good job of this family suicide that the whole senior line died out. There was, however, a member of a junior branch of the family, Sir Edward Courtney, who had chosen the right side to support Henry VII. Henry recreated the Earldom of Devon, so the Courtenays were in business again. Then the next Earl, Sir William, went and married a Yorkist, and the King was a Lancastrian. It cost him a spell in the Tower, but at least he escaped the block. His son Henry, however, did not learn the lesson of history, got involved in a rebellion, and lost his head in 1539, courtesy of Henry VIII. His only son, another Edward, nearly made it to the top, because he was once considered as a possible husband for the Queen, Mary Tudor, Bloody Mary. Hardly an enviable status. However, he chose to get mixed up with another rebellion, was sent to the Tower, then got kicked out of England, and ended his days in Italy in 1556 with no heir. So the second earldom was dead. The Courtenays, what was left of them, retired to their seat at Powderham Castle, and for the next 200 or 300 years kept their heads down and kept their heads on. They built up their castle and their fortunes, often by well-judged marriages, they were rewarded by being made Earls of Devon again in 1831, the third creation. In 1858, the Reverend Brereton was looking for a posh name to put on his company's prospectuses, and for a wealthy supporter to invest some money. What better choice, what more notorious name than Courtney? So Brereton set out to charm the Earl of Devon, and he was a great charmer, and the charm worked. The Earl duly coughed up and lent his support to this peculiar school for the middle classes. I wonder what the Earl thought of that. In the back of beyond, in a village nobody had ever heard of. And when Brereton told him that it was proposed to name the second dormitory Courtenay, I wonder what he thought of that. Umpteenth Earl of Devon, descended from 1,000 years of Norman nobles, famous medieval manufacturers, castle proprietors, counts of Edessa, emperors of Constantinople, and he was going to be honoured by having a bedroom of schoolboys named after him.